Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is a review of the Masquerade mini palette by Juvia's Place. This is the outer box that it comes in, and this is the eyeshadow palette. It looks exactly the same as the outer box, but it's made of cardboard and it's got a magnetized lid closure. It doesn't have a mirror on top, and it's got 16 eyeshadows. There you go, quite a colourful palette. Juvia's Place has got neutral palettes like the Nubian palette, but I actually wanted to try out a palette that's got colours because the colourful eyeshadows by Juvia's Place are meant to be amazing. So I thought I'd give this palette a go. Now, although this is the mini palette, each pan is the size of, say, a MAC eyeshadow, so they're not necessarily smaller eyeshadows, but the larger palette has got much larger eyeshadow pans. Now, I will insert some swatches of this palette right now. So starting from here, this is Chi, Mali, Dahlia, Zola, Makeda, Zobo, Calabar, Bori, Giza, Burkina, Cairo, Ada, Dahia, Zulu, Casablanca, and Fulani. There you go. So on the whole, this palette is really good. There are some shades that are hit or miss. For instance, Mali here and this purple one here, which is called Makeda. They apply best either with your finger or with a foiled brush. I do still have to work with the eyeshadows to translate them onto the eye for them to look the way they do in the palette. The purple one in particular, I find that if I haven't wet the eyeshadow, I'm going back and forth into the palette quite a lot to get any sort of look onto the eye. It is very pigmented. If I put on a little bit with a brush, I'll get it only on that little bit that the brush first touches. It doesn't really spread across onto the eyelid. But if I do wet the brush or if I use my finger, then it will apply okay. And the same as with the turquoisey, with the Mali shade, which is the turquoisey green shade. With the other shades, I don't really have any complaints. I think they apply beautifully. They're so pigmented. You do get a little bit of kick up with the matte eyeshadows, but you tap them off, you don't get any fall down on your face. They are buildable, and they blend really well. Like, there's nothing negative to say about these eyeshadows apart from the couple that I mentioned. The other thing with this palette, and again this is a personal preference, but I find that when I'm using the colours in the eyeshadow palette, I need a really deep colour to round it all up, so like a black or a really deep dark brown, which this palette lacks. I find that with the matte shades, so with the browns that there's not really a huge gradient in tone, so there's not really a light tone brown, a mid-tone brown and a deep brown. So in terms of transitions, I do have to go in with a second palette to build that up. So that's the only thing that I wish that sort of varied here. But the colours themselves are beautiful, and if you're okay to use a second palette as, you know, complementary shades for your transition, then it's perfectly fine. But for me personally, this is not a standalone palette. I find that I'm always reaching for a darker shade to round things up and a lighter shade for my transition. This palette is fantastic value for money. You get about, I think this was about £35, and you've got 16 eyeshadows, and they're very pigmented, so they're going to last you a very long time, and they're really good quality. The one thing is, there is no mirror in this, so just to be aware, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. I tend to use a different mirror anyway. I don't tend to use the mirror in the palette that I'm working off. But overall, definitely recommend this palette, and yeah, give it a go. I definitely want to try some other Juvia's Place palettes now. I'm quite interested in trying the Saharan palette. I'm not sure if Beauty Place has it in stock yet, but once it's in stock I'll get it and I'll give it a go. but definitely recommend this palette. Let me know what you think, if you've tried this palette or any of the other palettes, and if there's one that you think I should try out. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.